So far, 2024 is not a great year for IGN. Already, we have talked about them, I believe, like 3 times in the span of like 2-3 months, with our most recent video of IGN coming out a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, I have covered a lot of IGN's mishaps when it comes to Kingdom Hearts over the course of time, but never have we had so much IGN derp content within such a short amount of time. This is insane. Today, I want to talk about some more IGN derps. This time, though, it's outside of the realm of Kingdom Hearts. I don't really tend to pay too much attention to the other mishaps that happen with this publication outside of Kingdom Hearts, or at least to the degree of actually covering it in a video. But I thought, because we have been talking a lot about Stellar Blade here on the channel recently, this would slot in quite nicely. And personally speaking, this is probably, I guess, the most disgusting thing that I've seen kind of come from IGN in the terms of disrespect. Now, this definitely broke into a bigger story than anything that IGN have ever done with Kingdom Hearts. This was definitely making the rounds, basically because it was a comment made by IGN France that, is pretty much a rude, disrespectful comment to that of the director of Stellar Blade at Shift Up. We should also keep in mind that obviously each article that appears on IGN across all of the different IGN platforms are almost always written by different writers. A lot of these can be opinion pieces, and what's written in these articles is generally from the lens of the person writing them. One thing that is absolute, though, is all of these articles that appear on IGN obviously are directly tied to the publication. So if in a case like this, where you have someone basically slandering the director of a video game, then that is going to directly impact IGN's reputation. Now, IGN France have since edited the article and have apologized, which is great, but let's read out the original post. The design of the game, particularly its characters, highlights an obvious bias. We're going to smash the alien, but if we can do it while pleasing these gentlemen, that's a bonus. And the result is not really a success. From everything that I've seen around the internet, most people, I want to say like 85%, are praising Stellar Blade and its character designs, men and women alike. It's not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B from Nier Automata inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland. A doll sexualized by someone you would think has never seen a woman. I'm gonna say this right here, right now. This just screams, I am afraid of attractive woman. God forbid my video game woman to be attractive. How dare they? It's also so exhausting too, because I remember when Horizon Forbidden West came out, there was that big internet debacle about Aloy and how she looked too manly and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, okay, so this is the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, it just doesn't matter like what you do. Like, you cannot win in this day and age. Someone is always gonna bitch about it. Now, they're not targeting directly Kim in this sense, the director of Stellar Blade at Shift Up, but this most certainly can be interpreted as the person that is writing this is basically saying whoever designs this character has never seen a woman, and that this character is overly sexualized. This has been a bit of a topic here in the Stellar Blade space, just with the very obvious, to a degree, sexualization of the characters with the jiggle physics. Obviously very attractive character. There is sort of an intention behind that. It certainly does garner attention from the video game community, just as Nier Automata did with 2B. What's important about something like Nier Automata, and in this case Stellar Blade, is that they do support great gameplay, and in both cases, they absolutely do. Now, looking at the apology, this is something that really irks me. This is the same thing that ended up happening with the Kingdom Hearts 4 mishap, where they mistook a Kingdom Hearts 3 image, claiming it to be a Kingdom Hearts 4 image, even though the actual image down the bottom literally states, this is Kingdom Hearts 3. Man. The original text of the Stellar Blade preview contained comments that were out of place. While it was never our intention to disrespect Shift Up or any of its employees or their work, we recognize that the phrase taken in its literal sense was inappropriate and we regret it. They always sort of seem to beat around the bush, try to, in a weird way, pin the blame on the reader and not so much themselves. I'm happy that they said we regret making the comment. And what absolute monkey shit, stating we never intended to disrespect the work or the employees, with making a comment that this is a sexualized doll created by someone that's never seen a woman before. Like, you're not 4 years old playing in a sandpit accidentally saying goo goo aga. You know, like, that's a f***ing insult. What did you think that was? A compliment? Do you think they'll be like, oh, I love what Jerry said in that article. That was really nice of him. The stupider thing about this is, like, Eve is quite literally 3D body scanned from a real person. Aside from the face, everything that you're seeing there with Eve's character model is quite literally referenced from a person. Over the course of time, and especially in our day and age, there is that whole subject of creating realistic expectations. When looking at like female advertisement for movies or clothes or just anything in the general sense, yeah, generally it's a very particular build of a female, right? Slender, may or may not have big breasts, pretty much emphasis on all of the features that people find attractive about females. And over time, in many forms, we have tried to make inclusion all the more greater. I believe that people of all shapes and sizes should be included in any form of media, subject, whatever it might be. However, someone like Kim has mentioned that for Stellar Blade, this was his ideal character in mind for the vision that he wanted for the game. And it's also not like there isn't someone that doesn't look like Eve from Stellar Blade, because, again, it was referenced from a real person. Yo, no one tell this guy from IGN about Aunt Fanny from Robots. He will lose his damn mind. It's also like, unless there's a glaring issue and it's kind of like, okay, that's not okay, don't do that. If this is what the creator's vision is, then just let the creator come forward with their vision. People have so many different types of expectations set on the way things should be. It honestly is ridiculous. That's the thing with creativity. There is a certain amount of freedom. Well, I think there should be some clear restrictions and kind of guidelines on some things. Something like this is honestly harmless. And I will definitely admit too, when we have something like jiggle physics in a game that is over-exaggerated to the point of if you move just 3 inches forward and the boobs start to do complete somersaults, okay, yeah, maybe tone that down. I think we don't really need that. That's not really how they work. However, there are certainly people that go up in arms about jiggle physics, and it's like, you do realize that they generally move when a person moves, right? They're not just concreted to someone's chest. It makes you wonder, like, why are some people trying to banish creators and artists over creating realistic physics towards human anatomy? IGN are definitely lucky that Shift Up are quite understanding towards this thing. They actually grasp the concept, okay, this article is for one coming from an independent branch of IGN, being that this is IGN France, still part of the IGN family, but that more importantly, it is just one person's opinion and not the company as a whole, because a few days later, IGN were graced with the opportunity to be able to showcase 15 minutes of exclusive new footage of the game. There is a good chance that if the company had read this, they totally could have cut off any opportunities from IGN. Obviously, from a business standpoint, it's not really smart because, again, IGN are the biggest publication on the internet when it comes to video games, so they'd be sort of shooting themselves in the foot. But this is certainly one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen from IGN as a whole. I don't really know if there's ever been anything to like this degree of rudeness from the publication, again, because I don't really tend to pay too much attention to any of their articles outside of Kingdom Hearts. I'm not too sure if this is like a common thing or whether it's happened a few times in the past before. And looking further into this article as well, it's just mind-numbing to read the comments made towards the design of Eve. Like this right here, a tight jumpsuit featuring absurd proportions. Like, I lay the claim that I am a village idiot, but this is just a whole new breed, man. Perfect heels for going to war, a ponytail so long that they have to put an option to shorten it in settings. Nothing works. Bro, it is a fictional, sci-fi, post-apocalyptic video game. Relax. The ponytail comment is also just stupid too. I mean, Shift Up have already explains that they gave the option there because originally they were looking at cutting the ponytail as it took so much time to develop, but this was something they stuck through to have the long ponytail. It just gives people an option to shorten it if they want. They didn't have to put in the selectable option. That, what are you trying to get at here, man? You know, like, you can grow hair. That is a thing, right? Like, people can have long hair. You know, if you don't cut it for a prolonged amount of time, it grows. So, I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. Why even bring up the ponytail thing? What are you actually getting at? What does this mean? If forms of media like video games and movies didn't have that creative freedom, can you imagine how f***ing boring this shit would be? Like, really. I'm glad that we've got attractive girl with high heels that is slaying alien creatures with cool sword. That's badass, man. What do you want, grumpy grouch Bob Jones there with his AK-47? Like, what's the...
What do you want?
However, I think we can all agree that when it comes to this kind of stuff from IGN, it's best to just kind of roll your eyes and be like, okay, here we go again. However, guys, I just want to throw my 2 cents into the mix just again because we have been talking a lot about Stellar Blade recently. Speaking of which, we are not that far away. I think like 14 days or something like that. We are approaching so close to the release. I cannot wait. It's one of my most anticipated games for 2024. That's all for today. Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with everything that's going on here. Check out my other social media platforms. And a big thank you to the Turkey-tastic patrons. I'm Cynical. Hopefully you guys are having a damn good one, and we'll talk real soon.